most alive way of storytelling.
اگه الان یه دونه طوفان میومد، یه دونه طوفان خیلی شدید از پشت اون کوه.
All the art forms come together. You have the performance.
چیزی عوض میشد.
Costumes, you have the sound, you have music, you have so many different elements. It's the closest thing to
all of us here
being able to travel inside someone else's dream.
We weren't good enough.
And spend time there.
Smart enough. Young enough.
All the things you've done have put you right here. Here's the thing. Being good or bad mostly depends on who you're standing next to.
I don't remember one life-changing film that sort of started or set everything into existence in a way, but there's definitely films that I've seen that, like The Never-Ending Story, and when I was a kid and I saw that movie, I think it really showed me in such an intimate, visceral way what the feeling of loss is when that horse goes down in the swamp of sadness. I still feel that familiar feeling of loss and sadness is like so profound and beautifully shown in this film. And I think it still holds up. It's one of those, yeah, crazy powerful things. I would say that my influences are an ever-growing, amorphous, evolving thing that depends on how I'm ever-changing and evolving and growing and what I need. So I'm constantly seeking it out, whether it's music or other filmmakers or writers or photographers, definitely music. And it's always kind of whatever I'm working on and what story I'm telling, what I'm fascinated by, and then I start following it, it leads me to new things. So it's many, many things. There are a few sort of, I'd say, influences that are kind of like chicken soup for my soul that I continually go back to. One of those, probably the most important, would be Bruce Lee for his book, Striking Thoughts, which is a collection of short essays that are his philosophies towards art and creativity. It's a book that I never stop reading, and it's about how to be good at being human. On one hand, I really know why I make films, because I sort of feel that I can't do anything else in a way. I have to make films because I can't not make films. And at the same time, I create a universe and a story based on something that I'm interested in diving deep into from inside my own brain caves. I think our brain caves are just these never-ending tunnels and labyrinths of things inside of ourselves that we are constantly seeking to know. I speak for only myself, so I would like to know myself. And then when I make a film, I have an opportunity to go inside some aspect of myself and look at it. And when you do that, you're kind of looking at yourself in the world that you are surrounded by. And then on the other hand, when you're making films, you also get to discover so many things. You start following your own fascinations, and it takes you to new places that you've never been, including the people you collaborate with, or if you go and shoot in a certain place, it's like a ticket to an adventure. But the adventure is kind of driven from inside your own guts. To know yourself, which is an ongoing, never-ending thing. I think the most important thing for the creative process is to focus on the present moment and on your own intent in a way. I think the biggest trap for kind of young filmmakers thinking about it as in terms of the industry in Hollywood or making it is that there is no such thing as making it. There is do or don't do, learn or don't learn. Those are literally the only choices. Because each thing is part of a larger thing and you're kind of just going along. You have to just keep going. You have to focus on creating. The minute you start focusing on, oh, I need to get an agent or this or that, or I need to please this audience or try to get those people to pay attention, you're basically not paying attention to yourself anymore. So I think the best advice, what I always say is you should think of Doc Brown. And Doc Brown is an inventor. And he just wants to make his inventions because he wants them to exist. He has no end result except for just the task itself. And you have to continuously, furiously work on it and get your DeLorean to work. I don't want to die, and I'm just hoping someone figures out an antidote to death so that I don't have to answer this question. I'd like to continually stay alive, if possible. I think it's like a safe haven. I think because being an inventor, being this kind of mad scientist, which we are, it's a very lonely, arduous, difficult type of a vision quest. That's a lifelong vision quest you're on. And it's rare that you get to be in a place that's like a safe haven with people to help you set off on that journey and that kind of adventure. I don't think that students in film programs ever realize that that's what it is, though, because I know, even when I think of myself and my time at UCLA, you're kind of just thinking, like, what's going to happen next and kind of thinking of how you're going to do it. I remember going back to talk at UCLA a couple of years ago, and I was like, okay, so now I'm Marty McFly and I get to get in my time machine and go back and tell myself something while I'm at UCLA. And it would be to just forget everything else and just whatever idea that fascinates the shit out of you, just pay attention to that, think about that, and don't worry about anything else. It's an amazing gift to get to do that.